Most people think calmness is a personality trait. You either have it or you don't. But that's wrong. Calm is a skill. And the people who master it aren't just lucky. They're trained. Imagine standing on a boat in the middle of the Atlantic. The sky turns black. Waves rise like moving mountains. And the crew, they're still laughing, making tea. Because they know something most of us don't. Panic is useless currency. It spends your energy without buying you safety. Take the islanders of Semeru in Indonesia. For generations, they've lived in an earthquake zone so active that tremors are as common as rain. In 2004, when the Indian Ocean tsunami struck, almost every nearby coastal area was devastated. But on Semeru, only 7 lives were lost, not thousands. Why? Because the moment the earth shook, people didn't scream, didn't run in confusion. They calmly walked inland. They'd been taught from childhood, when the ground moves, the sea will follow. That simple, steady reaction saved them. Calm isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to keep fear on a leash. And humans have been practicing it for thousands of years, in the harshest conditions on Earth. In the Arctic, Inuit hunters often face whiteouts, where the air becomes a swirling wall of snow and you can't tell up from down. Panic in that moment can make you walk in circles until you freeze. So they have a ritual. They count breaths instead of steps. This keeps the mind anchored in the now, instead of spiraling into thoughts of how far the shelter is. Physiologically, that slow breathing lowers your heart rate, reduces carbon dioxide in the blood, and tricks your nervous system into believing you're safe, even when you're not. Far to the south, in the Sahara Desert, Tuareg nomads meet sandstorms that can strip paint from a car. You might think the smart move is to run for cover, but they don't. They kneel, wrap their faces in cloth, and wait. The stillness isn't just poetic, it's practical. Moving against a sandstorm increases resistance, which actually makes the storm last longer around you. Stillness allows the storm to pass quicker. One elder summed it up. Storms are like anger. If you run with them, they last longer. If you stay still, they pass faster. Calmness can even save lives when the danger isn't nature. It's human chaos. In 1961, a Soviet submarine operating near Greenland began to overheat. A fire broke out. The captain ordered everyone to sit on the floor and breathe slowly, even as smoke filled the cabin. The strange command wasn't for comfort. It was strategy. Quick breathing meant faster inhalation of toxic fumes. Slow breathing bought them precious extra minutes until the fire was contained. Many survived because of it. The concept isn't limited to emergencies. In Japan, where earthquakes are common, school children practice pouring tea while the ground shakes during drills. It's not because anyone needs perfectly poured tea in a disaster. It's about teaching the body to stay steady under disruption. Martial artists call this moving within stillness, training to make control automatic. This isn't just tradition, it's backed by science. Studies on Navy SEALs show that controlling breath and muscle tension during high-stress training actually rewires how the amygdala, the brain's fear center, responds to chaos. Over time, what panics others becomes almost ordinary to you. But calm is not just about the body. It's about the story you tell yourself in the moment. In 1991, when Mount Pinatubo erupted in the Philippines, ash fell for hours. Whole villages disappeared. Footage shows elders sitting calmly on porches. They weren't oblivious. They'd already taken the smartest steps available. Once you've done what you can, panic is wasted movement. That's a Stoic principle in real life. Control what you can. Release what you can't. History is full of leaders who mastered this. Take Ernest Shackleton, the Antarctic explorer. In 1914, his ship, Endurance, became trapped in ice. Rescue was impossible. Supplies were low. But Shackleton woke every morning, gathered the crew, and calmly announced the plan for the day. No false promises, no dramatics, just clarity. The crew followed his lead, and after nearly 2 years stranded, every single man returned alive. Even in nature, calmness is a survival strategy. In the animal kingdom, sloths survive not because they're strong, but because they move so slowly that predators often fail to notice them. Sharks can swim past a sloth in the water without even recognizing it as prey. In a world where panic is noisy, calm can be invisible armor. Cultures around the world have their own anchors for calm. Deep-sea pearl divers in Japan use rhythmic hand movements to keep their mind from panicking while holding their breath for over 2 minutes. Monks in Nepal meditate in freezing temperatures until they can literally raise their body heat, monitored by scientists who recorded increases of up to 17 degrees Fahrenheit in their fingertips. Antarctic researchers smile on purpose to counter depression in months of darkness, because forced facial expressions can still trigger the release of dopamine and serotonin. So, how do you train yourself to be calm when everything around you is falling apart? It comes down to 3 habits. First, slow the breath, slow the mind. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This pattern has been used by free divers, fighter pilots, and even emergency room doctors to stay functional in pressure. Second, shrink the problem. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Your brain will resist. It loves to treat every inconvenience like a crisis, but perspective is a natural sedative. Third, anchor yourself. Pick one word, one sound, or one mental image, and use it whenever panic tries to take over. Roman generals would picture the forum at sunrise. Shackleton thought about hot tea and a warm chair. Yours could be anything, as long as it's yours. Calm doesn't mean you're unaffected. It means you've decided that chaos doesn't get to run the show. And here's the twist. Panic spreads like fire, but so does calm. When you keep your center, you give everyone around you permission to find theirs. The next time your world tilts, whether it's a missed flight, a bad diagnosis, or a literal storm, remember this. Calm is not an accident. It's a choice, sharpened by practice and proven across deserts, oceans, and centuries. So when the noise rises, will you add to it? Or will you be the quiet in the middle of the storm?